Hello, James Mann, back with another heliocentric Earth flattening video. Why do Earth curvature calculator predictions suck so badly? I know, it sounded like the beginning of a joke, and it is. It's a real sick joke on mankind. I have been using Earth curvature calculator predictions for more than 5 years, and not once did it match reality. This is the hill I will be walking down in this video. It is 80 feet above sea level at the top, giving me an 85.5 foot eye level. The hill goes from 80 feet down to 20 feet and then down the beach to sea level. I am at Dennis Beach, New Brunswick parking area, looking to Isle 28 miles away, and 14 miles off the shores of Nova Scotia. I am standing at 80 feet above sea level, with an 85.5 foot eye level. I will walk down this steep gravel hill, and out to sea level where the seaweed and moss-covered rocks are. This island is visible to the naked eye, from the 85.5 feet, as well as from sea level. This island was my first flat Earth observation, almost immediately after learning about flat Earth. I had been walking this beach for 3 years, and saw this tiny island a couple of times a week. If I had not seen, and photographed this island, with my 300mm lens, I might not be a flat earther today. According to the heliocentric model taught in public schools, walking down this hill to the beach, from an 85.5 foot eye level, should prove predictable, and measurable curvature, based on Earth curvature calculators. Let me give you some details about the island. First, Isle is 28 miles from Dennis Beach, where I am standing at 85.5 feet above sea level. The island is 328 feet high at the arrow. Using an Earth curvature calculator, we can predict that amount of expected Earth curvature. To test for curvature, you only need to know the distance to a target. This target is Isle 28 miles away, and you need to have your eye level or camera height. My height is 85.5 feet above sea level. Now let me input that data into an Earth curvature calculator. My eye level is 85.5 feet above sea level, and my target, Isle is 28 miles away. With just these two values, Earth curvature calculators predict 185 feet of Earth curvature. Let me mark where 185 feet would be. Let me zoom in on the left point. Those are trees on the 90-foot point, trees that should be blocked by the 185 feet of predicted curvature. Notice I just showed you curvature predictions, made by Earth curvature calculators, that do not show any measurable curvature to that point, from 28 miles away. I am still standing at 80 feet above sea level, but this is about the size Isle appears to be, looking from Dennis Beach, 28 miles away from my eyes and camera. Think about this next statement. I document looking from Dennis Beach, down the Nova Scotia shoreline to more than 50 miles away, where there should be more than 1,000 feet of curvature blocking the land, but it doesn't. This means there is zero measurable curvature. And from Cape and Rage, 10 clicks up the road, I document seeing the lighthouse light at Quake-O, looking from 41 miles away, and 125 feet high. That is zero measurable curvature to 41 miles, and the same thing looking more than 50 miles on the Nova Scotia coastline. The thing I have noticed is the water between Nova Scotia and New Brunswick is level when there should be visible curvature, at least half the height of the 328-foot high island. Watch as I pan the horizon. The horizon is perfectly level, with a 328-foot high island on the left. If we truly lived on a spherical Earth, and looking at these distances, there should be visible distortions caused by curvature, but we never see or measure this. There are never any measurable signs of curvature, when it should not only be measurable, but we should experience visible distortions as the world falls away in all directions. This is a really steep, almost a cliff, and I am trying to use my tripod to stabilize the camera, but had trouble adjusting the legs to my eye level. Watch how far I can see down the Nova Scotia coast, 20 miles or more. It's really hard to see, so I took a screenshot and adjusted the gamma and brightness. Nova Scotia is 14 miles behind Alote, and the land moves southwest, making it further away in two directions. That's why the land is smaller as it goes to the right. On the right end of the island, Nova Scotia is 45 miles away. Let's see what Earth curvature calculators predict, for this distance, with my 80-foot eye level. Looking 45 miles from an 80-foot eye level calls for 770 feet of curvature. The highest land I could find was 700 feet at 60 miles away, which now calls for 1,600 feet of that alleged curvature. The red arrow shows where 45 miles is. Let's move 5 miles down the coast to Outram. It is now 48.6 miles away. Earth curvature calculators predict 945 feet of Earth curvature, and that's just to the shoreline. I went inland 95 miles and there is no land on this line of sight even 800 feet high. So let's go another 5 miles down the coast. That takes us to between Port Lorne and St. Croix Cove, which is 52.8 miles. Earth curvature predictions say there should be 1,167 feet of curvature. Note, the shoreline is only 66 feet high, meaning we have to look further inland to find that 1,167 feet of alleged curvature. Again, there is no land nearly high enough to match globe curvature predictions. I could continue going down the coast, but it only gets far worse for the globe.
Feet. $70 feet.
$70 feet above sea level, and we can still see miles down the coast. There should now be 805 feet of curvature, just to the shoreline that is less than 300 feet high. The highest land I could find, on this line of sight, was 736 feet. There isn't even any land on this line of sight that is 800 feet high. Earth curvature calculator predictions are wrong again. $60 feet. Already a lot of haze there. We are still seeing a lot of land to the right, and all of it should be blocked by curvature. So, again, Earth curvature calculator predictions do not match what we see and measure in reality.
Feet.
From 50 feet above sea level, looking 45 miles to Nova Scotia, we should encounter 880 feet of predicted Earth curvature. Again, there is no land even 800 feet high on this line of sight. From my 50-foot eye level, looking 28 miles to Alote, we should now encounter 249 feet of predicted Earth curvature. Let me mark that. Everything below the yellow line, including mainland Nova Scotia, should be blocked by the globe prediction, made by Earth curvature calculators. But seriously, it's not even close. We still see at least 15 miles down the coast, which would be 56 miles away, with a predicted 1,500 feet of curvature, to land less than 800 feet high. Again, the 56 miles is to the shoreline, showing there is zero measurable curvature, which kind of debunks the globe model, and why people need to start doing their own research.
Feet. Halfway down a little more.
From a 40-foot eye level, looking 28 miles to Isle Haute, Earth curvature calculator prediction says 273 feet, which would now block both points, leaving just 55 feet of Isle Haute visible. As you can see, we are seeing almost the entire island, other than the few feet being blocked by mirroring, caused by refraction.
Still below the strip. About 30 feet here.
I now have a 30-foot eye level, looking 28 miles to Isle Haute. Globe curvature predictions say 302 feet of curvature, leaving just 26 feet of island visible.
There's the high spot there. 328 feet. 250 feet.
And once again, we are still seeing most of the island's height, showing these Earth curvature calculation predictions are programming, and not what we prove in reality. The top of the island is changing due to refraction. I think a superior mirage is starting. An upside down Isle Haute over top of the island. With my camera at 25.5 feet, Earth curvature calculators predict 317 feet of curvature. 328 foot high island minus 317 feet of curvature, leaves just 11 feet plus 20 foot trees showing. Earth curvature calculators say you should not be able to see any of this end of the island, yet there it is. Notice how the trees, which we could barely see the tops of, are now stretching upward. Last time I saw this happen, refraction created a version of the island upside down over top of itself. I think it's called a superior mirage when we see the island upside down. I tried to find the photo of the island upside down. I spent all morning going through thousands and thousands of photos between 2017 and 2022. I gave up looking as I have more than 300,000 photos from my 5 years of recording over water observations, and nature walks on miles and miles of trails.
started at 80 feet. And walked down. Tried to get 5 to 10 feet at a time. The base at the bottom. Right there is about 20 feet, and I added my 5.5 foot island. Now let's walk up closer to sea level.
From a 5.5 foot eye level Earth curvature, calculators predict 421 feet of curvature. 421 feet of curvature is supposed to be enough to block 100% of the 328 foot high island. With a 4-foot camera lens, we should encounter 435 feet of predicted Earth curvature, but it still is not blocking the 328 foot high island.
Scrunch down here, it's going to hold my knees like this. So I'm going to go down to 3 feet. To 2 feet. That's about it. Well, that was down to 2 feet today.
You can believe your childhood education that taught us Earth is a sphere rotating at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator, going 66,600 miles per hour around a fireball sun, but what you can't do is prove that. I have just shown there is zero measurable curvature to match the predictions Earth curvature calculators give us. I also pointed out that if we really lived on a globe, we would be dealing with a whole world of distortions. It is time to stop believing the heliocentric lies, and start trying to prove them. It will lead straight to a level plane, with zero measurable curvature. Note, I am not asking you to believe our world is a provable level plane. I am asking you to try, and prove the globe model has predictable, measurable curvature, to match NASA's version of Earth, like we were fed as children. Taking the time to do your own research will show you that there is no globe Earth, and that you truly were programmed to believe their lies, from back when you were just a child, without critical thinking. Just like the rest of the world. As always, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you feel this video can change lives, please share this video. If you are not subbed to my channel, please take the time to subscribe so you can be notified of new videos I share or create.